Welcome back. This is Arnav Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. It's October the 8th. It's a Tuesday, and with Durga Puja on the verge of starting, I'm a little busy on a few things of organizing the puja in Cologne, and therefore I thought I'll come a little earlier and do this live and continue the conversations we were having last night. Hi, Kilan. And speak about the things that are happening, and what all not is happening, and therefore, just continue. Adian, hi, welcome. Hi, Anurag as well. Let's chat, talk Indian football, as I love to say, and therefore let's talk about the things that are happening or not happening. Again, I'm actually preparing a video for later on, which will talk about my views on certain things, which I find very, very chaotic in Indian football at the moment. And therefore, how can that be changed? How can the narrative be changed? A lot of things are happening, which I personally find very, very disturbing, to say the least. And how can we change things for the better in the long run? In Indian football, which in itself is a challenge, I guess, and therefore hopefully things will be sorted in the short to midterm, and it's going to be a challenge, as I say, but the question at the end of the day is, where is Indian football heading? And that's, for me, a very, very important conversational topic, in my opinion, where we have to say, is it potentially going in the right direction? Is it going totally in the wrong direction? Can we hope that things will at one stage maybe go in the right direction, where we hope Indian football needs to go, because it is not growing, it is not developing, it is not doing what we feel, I think, as well-wishers, as fans of Indian football, where Indian football needs to go. And that is, I think, for us, the big challenge when we talk about Indian football these days. As always, let me know what you guys think, if you agree or disagree, or if you think that things need to be handled somewhat in a different way. And this is something which I feel and things need to change. Otherwise, Indian football will go nowhere in the long run. We can have the same discussion tomorrow. We can have the same discussion in a month, in a year, in 5, in 10, in 20, most probably, because at the end of the day, if the basics are not implemented in Indian football, if the right things are not implemented, so therefore, for me, that's a very difficult thing. कब होगा कुछ पॉजिटिव इंडियन फुटबॉल में कि हम फैंस इतने अनलकी है? I think, it is difficult. I think this is if I look back 26 plus years that I've been following Indian football, this is amongst the most difficult. I would have said around 2015, when we went into the 170s in the FIFA ranking. But again, there was the ISL, there was hope. Little different. I think at the moment a lot of things are going wrong, and I think as long as people don't realize that things are going wrong and are trying to tell you, things are actually okay, but there needs to be one or other things, people are not willing to follow the rules and regulation, and it's fine not to follow the rules and regulations, then it, to me, becomes a problem. And that is, I think, my big concern at the moment when I look at things, that we are not willing to accept that there are things which are not right, that are things that we need to do, and we need to change, in the sense of that what happens, what doesn't happen in Indian football, and otherwise we will not progress. And that's a challenge. That, to me, is a challenge, and I think that is going to be one of those challenges which we will have to take head on, to see if Indian football can then sort itself out and grow in the right way, for it to potentially go where we hope and we wish Indian football goes. I think that's another thing. We are wishing for a better future. We're wishing for success, but where can it come from? If you see that the basics, again, we need to build the foundation in Indian football to be able to be successful in the mid to long term. And as long as that doesn't happen, that, to me, is a big concern, that we need to change things and do the right things, and not again get into these unnecessary conversations and discussions about things, but rather focus on the things that can and need to be changed. I think those are the things that I feel need to be looked at, and that is something which in my opinion is not happening, and therefore we are stuck at the moment in this sort of that is there. Can you name anything which is going positive right now in Indian football? I think there are states, there are clubs, there are academies, there are institutions who are trying to do things the right way despite all these issues and problems. I think that is one. I think the initiative to fight age fraud, for example, I think is a positive thing. I've spoken multiple times about what Mizoram has tried to do over the last now nearly 15 years and has done a lot of things right. Players like Changte, Apuya, to name the two best at the moment, earlier JJ and Lalundika Ralte. We've had players from that state coming up. Manipur, despite all its problems, is still producing players, right? So therefore, those would be positives. Clubs are trying to do something, trying to change something. A club like Inter Kashi trying to take football to UP. I think it's not easy. It will not be, and it isn't easy for them. That is good. Football is spread over the last decade to parts of India where there was football, but there wasn't top level football. I look at, for example, hopefully Hyderabad FC sorts itself out. It's good to see that a club like Real Kashmir is there. We've got clubs from Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram in the I-League, or had in the I-League, or have in the I-League. So therefore, it's not everything is really negative in my opinion. I think there are things which are positive, but again, the negatives are so big, and it starts, with when I see this discussion in regard to height, I'm honestly, I'm confused. It's like, what is the purpose? Are we not looking at talent and the quality of players that could be available to us that we produce? Does that mean that, for example, in an Indian context, we would not look at a Lionel Messi, for example? Would we not look at a Lamine Yamal? Because you know what? You're too short, in our opinion. We don't think you can be professionals. So then my question is, do we have a scouting system? Do we have the capabilities of doing things the right way? And that is something which makes it very, very, very interesting, right? So therefore, I think those are a lot of queries and questions that crop up, and it'll be interesting to see how where we head to. Adrian say something about Vietnam national football team. Well, first of all, we're playing them on the 12th, so we're playing them in 4 days, and India has played Vietnam a lot of times over the years. My most famous one will be 2002, the LG Cup, which India won 3-2 under Stephen Constantine. And look, we have a guest over here. Sorry, Hiren here. Good afternoon, Hiren. I'm just explaining a little bit about Vietnam, and then we can talk about other things. Vietnam is a team which, again, up to about a year ago, we would have said, hey, listen, they're doing really, really good. They're doing the right things in youth development. They're doing right things with the national team. But suddenly, they didn't play well in the Asian Cup. The World Cup qualifiers, they didn't reach round 3. So for me, that's going to be an interesting one, is where where does Vietnam really stand? They have a certain brand of football. They were playing under Trossier, maybe a little bit too open also, but it'll be interesting to see how they shape up. And again, I think India needs to look at itself rather than looking at any other team. I don't know, Hiren, what you think. I think we need to look at ourselves, and then if we can challenge anybody, then it's fine. But again, we have enough problems, right?
First of all, good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon to everyone, guys. Definitely, अभी तो at the moment तो हमें अपने ऊपर ही focus करना चाहिए rather than you can say कि assessing other teams. But Vietnam, जैसे आपने बोला कि definitely पिछले 1 साल में उनका भी थोड़ा-सा डाउनफॉल हुआ है। एंड आपको भी पता है कि फुटबॉल डेवलपमेंट एंड उसमें जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है वो है कंसिस्टेंसी एंड कांस्टेंट प्रोसेस। इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आपने एक बार डेवलपमेंट कर दिया तो फिर चलता ही जाएगा। यू हैव टू वर्क यू कैन से कि एवरी डे। सो आई थिंक नो डाउट उन्होंने पिछले कुछ सालों में अच्छा काम किया था, बट आई थिंक कहीं न कहीं थोड़ा-सा वहाँ पे भी जो मैंने कुछ लोगों से मतलब जानने की कोशिश की, तो पता है कि फिर वो थोड़ा-सा डिरेल हो गया है, उनका जो फ़ोकस है या फिर जो भी सिस्टम में भी आपको पता है कि कुछ ऐसे लोग आ जाते हैं, तो फिर आपका जो शिफ्ट है वो हो जाता है। सो दे आर आल्सो स्ट्रगलिंग एंड आई थिंक दे आर आल्सो फोकसिंग ऑन देमसेल्फ कि उनको भी एशियन कप क्वालिफायर्स खेलना है, तो उनका भी फोकस उसी के ऊपर है कि टीम को उस तरह से प्रिपेयर किया जाए। एंड इंडिया भी नए कोच के अंडर ये दूसरा उनका टूर्नामेंट है एंड तीसरी मैच है। सो डेफिनिटली आई थिंक मनोलो मार्केस के अंडर हमें फोकस करना चाहिए कि कौन-कौन से ऐसे एरिया है कि जहाँ पे वो अपना जो मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि चेंजेस करना चाहता है या फिर उनकी जो गेम स्टाइल है उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो खिलाना चाहता है। एंड सबसे बड़ा जो मेरे को मतलब लगता है कि ये जो इस अक्टूबर वाले मैच में या फिर नवंबर में जो मलेशिया के सामने हम खेल रहे हैं कि वो विल बी द इंडियाज़ गोल स्कोरर्स। आई थिंक वो जो फैक्टर है वो आई थिंक अगर सॉर्ट आउट कर पाते हैं मनोलो मार्केस, then and then only we can expect कि we will produce some result in May in you can say कि
Hiren, are
Asian
you
Cup
offering
qualifier.
yourself as a striker to Manolo?
I am not offering myself, but
अरे you
we
have
can
pictures in the background of Messi and Sunil Chhetri. तुम तो एक बार touch the pictures and then maybe you get a little bit of Messi, a little bit of Sunil. बस हो गया international level striker here.
हाँ बट आई थिंक सर मेरे को लगता है कि दैट इज द एरिया कि जहाँ पे नेशनल टीम सबसे ज्यादा पिछले 1 साल में स्ट्रगल की है। सिर्फ 10 मैचेस में 2 गोल स्कोर करना एंड विदाउट गोल यू कैन विन मैचेस। आपको पता है आपके पास कितना भी बढ़िया डिफेंस है, यू ओनली कैन गेट अ ड्रॉ, नॉट अ विन।
And Hiren, the other problem is, when we talk about not scoring goals, the problem is also, interestingly, was the period before that. When we were playing SAF Cup, Intercontinental,
कॉन्टिनेंटल
Tri-Nation, our defense was good and the strikers were scoring goals, right?
गोल्स हाँ।
That seems to have somehow changed. It started in September, October, and then the Asian Cup, and then the rest of it. So that's the problem, right? If we we start with one. Let's So yeah, let's wait and see. May I ask, how do you see Baichung Bhutia Football School and their collaboration with Southampton? Do they look serious for Indian football? Mayor, I can tell you an example regarding Southampton Football Club. I did a project actually 20 years ago on Indian football. And even 20 years ago, Southampton Football Club was a good was interested in doing work in India, and we wanted to do the one or the other project. But then, of course, Indian football is Indian football, and then people, they did not want to accept the help from Southampton. They directly, Indian side was, how can we make money of these guys from the Premier League? Same problem. So therefore, for me, them coming back is good. I think Baichung Bhutia football schools, you have to also be honest that there is, on one side, it is a pay-to-play model, right? Which means that anyone theoretically with the financial means can join their academy, but there is another thing that they're trying to also create players. So therefore, that needs to be separated. And now the question is, how can they get the maximum out of Southampton? Southampton has the expertise of producing talent. In the old days, Mark Letizia, Theo Walcott, and whoever else, a lot of players, coaches, Pochettino, for example, was there as well, to just name one. Southampton has done good work. So therefore, my opinion, if BBFS gets the best out of them, it works. Rishikesh says, compare Igor start and Manolo start. I think the first thing is, Igor got a working team from Stephen Constantine.
बनी बनाई टीम उसको मिली थी।
Manolo Marquez got a broken team from Igor. So that comparison doesn't work.
एक चीज सर और है कि जो ईगो स्टीमेज को टीम मिली थी वो एशियन कप में थाईलैंड को 4-1 और ऐसे हरा के आ रही थी, और मनोलो मार्केस को जो टीम मिली है वो एशियन कप में अपनी हिस्ट्री का वर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस देके आ रही है। सो ये भी एक डिफरेंस है।
So, massive. I mean, I still say at continental level, I was very happy to be in Abu Dhabi when we beat Thailand 4-1. The greatest feeling we've had, is after, of course, the first match in 2011 against Australia, where we were, first time continental level. That is also very special. But this 4-1, and I felt Stephen got finally his team to work. I would have liked Steven to stay another 2-3 years. I think we would have gotten better. But sadly, Steven decided after the Bahrain game, it is thank you very much, Tata, bye bye. And again, that's the reality. And we are where we are now. And in my opinion, Manolo takes over at a very difficult time, because even 5 years ago, the talent seemed to be on paper at least better than it is today. I don't know what you think, Hiren, but at least on paper, you had options. And a lot of players who've been struggling in the national team now for a certain period of time were actually in a much better form.
True.
Shivam says, bros, we should urge FIFA to start national team players transfer so that we can definitely play in the World Cup. Will Kalyan sir agree to this? Nice sarcastic comment. Of course, that cannot happen, as we know. Mehar says, come on, Hiren, we know Manvir is answer. But Mehar, my question also would then be, who else is in this squad you can actually put in as a number 9?
आई थिंक मेरे को लगता है सर, ये फारूक चौधरी को लेने का रीजन वही है कि उसको मे बी वो खिला सकते हैं इन दैट पोजीशन. सीइंग द चेन्नई में भी जो वो मतलब वैसे तो स्टार्ट करता है वाइड से ही, बट ये जो रिसेंटली उसने परफॉर्मेंस दी है जिसमें 2 ब्रेस मारा था, उसमें भी वो सेंट्रली ज्यादा खेलता हुआ दिखा था. तो मे बी आई थिंक मेरे को लगता है कि शायद मनोलो उसको मौका दे. बाकी तो मनवीर इज दी ओनली, मतलब आपके पास एट द मोमेंट तो अगर आप ऑप्शन देखे उस तरह से है. बाकी मैक्स शिफ्ट में तो आप खिला सकते हो चांगते को, विक्रम को, एडमंड. But let's see, I think try and test. I think that is the only solution. At the moment you can't get, you can say कि confident answer, और you can say कि इसी को खिलाना चाहिए. Because ये देखिए, ये किसी प्लेयर सिवाय कि फारूक चौधरी, आपके जितने भी फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर अभी सिलेक्ट किए हैं आपने विंगर्स या फिर एज ए फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर, किसी ने अभी तक गोल नहीं मारा. एडमंड आपका अभी तो प्री सीजन मोड में है. चांगते ने गोल नहीं मारा अभी तक एक भी. विक्रम तो अभी इंजरी के साथ स्टार्ट हुआ, फिर अभी सेटल डाउन हो रहा है मुंबई सिटी में. आपके लिस्टन कोलासो ने गोल नहीं मारा. सो ओनली एट द मोमेंट जो प्लेयर जिसके अंडर द बेल्ट लीग में गोल है वो है फारूक चौधरी, जिन्होंने 2 गोल, और उसका भी एक ही मैच में वो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस आया था. उसके बाद ऐसा नहीं कि लगातार उन्होंने अच्छा किया है. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द यू कैन से कि इंटरेस्टिंग डिसीजन फ्रॉम द मॉडल मार्केट साइड कि क्या वो फ्रंट कॉम्बिनेशन सिलेक्ट करते हैं या फिर वो जो हमने इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल कप में देखा था कि मे बी लिस्टन चांगते मनवीर या फिर इस तरह का कॉम्बिनेशन ही फिर से रिपीट होता है.
I think that's the big question. What is going to happen? Yeah, it's a crazy situation, because if I look at the squad, I'm surprised. Have you heard anything if Rahim Ali is injured or something? I haven't heard anything.
No, I don't think so कि he is injured. No.
Okay, so that was my only logic if he was injured, and but again he's not. Iran versus Qatar games to be shifted in neutral for the upcoming World Cup qualifier match. Then why is hypocrisy on the other side? Definitely it proves it's a vague, money seeker and spineless. See, Pratik, again, you're one of those who've not understood how the system works. Who's deciding on the World Cup qualifiers? FIFA, right? AFC competitions, club competitions, AFC. And again, if you want to believe this narrative, please go ahead. But don't come with that. Mohun Bagan, in my opinion, didn't do their homework. Then short notice decided, Tata bye-bye, not going. Doesn't work that way. Other 2 teams are playing over there. An Indian is on the ground as a match commissioner. If you buy that narrative, please go ahead.
मोहन बगान ने जो गलती की कि उन्होंने ट्रैवल नहीं किया. ट्रैवल करते तब भी उनको मैच नहीं खेलना पड़ता, क्योंकि उस दिन जो 1 तारीख को जो हुआ 1 अक्टूबर को मैच के दौरान, उसके बाद वहां की गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया कि भाई ओपन ग्राउंड में कुछ यहाँ पे नेक्स्ट डे नहीं होगा, तो आपका मैच होता ही नहीं ट्रैक्टर के साथ. आप अगर वहां पे भी होते तो एंड आपको वैसे ही फिर यहाँ पे एएफसी आई थिंक उस मैच को रीशेड्यूल कर सकता था. फिर आप फॉल्ट में नहीं आते कि भाई आपने तो ट्रैवल कर दिया है. अब वहां की सिचुएशन के बेसिस पे नहीं हुआ तो फिर मोहन बगान का कोई रोल नहीं है ना. वो तो फिर ईरान के ऊपर, फिर ट्रैक्टर एफसी के ऊपर पनिशमेंट आ सकती थी. आपका कोई रोल ही नहीं है. उन्होंने अपनी ओर से जो चीजें करनी थी वो भी वो नहीं की, और आई थिंक 2 गलतियां उन्होंने कर दी.
They didn't communicate in advance. That is the whole.
हाँ, exactly. ये दो गलतियां उन्होंने कर दी.
Channel yesterday. My first thing is the second the draw comes out, if I'm good and I did my homework right about who I could play and all that stuff, I know that Iran is a problem. Mumbai City didn't travel with any of their foreigners last year or their foreign coaching staff, right? So that to me should have been a sign enough. Say, bhai, what could be the situation? No one has spoken with the AFC, right? Just to send emails and say, "Bhai, kuch ho jayega," then that means you don't have a relationship with the confederation. That's the most important thing you need to know. And if you don't know, speak via the AIFF people, speak via the match commissioners who work for the AFC. There are people out of Kolkata who are match commissioners working for AFC at the moment. That is the real problem. Ask the question.
और ये आपके पास फोरसाइट होना, ये नॉलेज होना चाहिए ना, आप एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में हो क्लब के, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ये ऐसे प्रॉब्लम, और आपके पास एग्जांपल था जैसे सर ने आप बताया कि भाई लास्ट ईयर मुंबई को भी सेम इश्यू, उसका चलो थोड़ा सा तब इतनी वर्स्ट सिचुएशन नहीं थी, बट उन्होंने ये फेस किया था, तो जैसे ड्रॉ यहाँ पे अनाउंस हुआ तो आपको उस हिसाब से आपकी प्रिपरेशन होनी चाहिए थी और आपका एएफसी के साथ उस हिसाब से कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए था। बट आपने क्या किया कि सिर्फ 30 तारीख को आपने मेल भेज दिया कि भाई हम ट्रैवल नहीं करेंगे। सो वैसे नहीं होगा ना, तो आई थिंक वो गलती मोहन बगान ने यहाँ पे कर दी कि
बट हिरेन 30
कम्युनिकेट
तारीख
नहीं किया।
तुम्हारा ऑफिशियल ट्रैवल, सी द पॉइंट इज यू आर सपोज्ड टू ट्रैवल ऑन द 29th।
9th, हाँ एग्जैक्टली, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ।
So you didn't even inform the AFC when you were on the day of your traveling,
हाँ।
सैन
घोष भाई का सर इसके रिलेटेड कमेंट है कि बट ट्रैवल करते तो हाउ दे विल कम बैक व्हेन हिजबुल्लाह चीफ डाइड एंड ईरान सिचुएशन गॉट डिटोरिएटेड, देन हाउ कैन दे अप्लाई 15 days earlier?
How did Pakhtakor, how did Istiklal travel back?
How did आप जो बोल रहे हो वो बंदा कैसे वापस आया जो मैच कमिश्नर था?
And how did Sanjay come back? So again, guys, do your homework before talking. Honestly, sorry, I'm fed up of this BS, right? You make allegations, you make everything is a conspiracy nowadays, without knowing things, and you're following people who don't understand the basics, So guys, understand how things run in football, right? Because
sir, मैंने भी मतलब जैसे आप
it's giving up, Hiren. It's just giving up because people don't want to understand the facts. They just want to believe what they want to believe.
मैंने भी मतलब एक आप जानते हो जिससे मैच कमिश्नर से बात की, उन्होंने भी वही बोला कि they should be traveling, उनको ट्रैवल करना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट उनका एफर्ट होना चाहिए था कि भाई चलो आप दुबई तक चले गए और आपको पता चला कि भाई सिचुएशन वर्स्ट एंड कम्युनिकेट।
I think that the main thing is that you, as part of your preparations, speak, knowing it's Iran, have conversations with the AFC, which you didn't do, right? And the fun one is they are washing their hands off. The media over there is saying, "Arey, this, that, whatever the situation is." No, so yeah, it makes no sense. Shoka says, Curious Harry has a number 9 scoring hat-trick on debut, signed by Barcelona as Leva replacement and scoring hat-trick in El Clasico debut, coming on as a Barca sub, down 2-0, 2-3-2, breaking 91 season goal average this season. Hiren, 25-26 season में हो रहा है or do we have to wait 26-27?
नहीं, अभी तो ये जनवरी ट्रांसफर विंडो में कर देते हैं ना, 25-26 की वेट करना।
अच्छा, you're going to do half a season, 91 goals. Okay, that's my friends. Indian football will qualify for the AFC Asian Cup 2027 with a new striker, new number 9, Hiren Patel, who will then play first for India, then move to Barcelona. Robert Lewandowski, it is time to pack your bags. Tata bye bye.
हाँ, और अगर करना ही है, सोचना ही है तो छोटा क्यों, तो फिर 6 महीने में ही 91 गोल मारने है ना।
See, and I hope this gets reported. I'm just waiting for the memes of Hiren, India's answer to Sunil Chhetri. Yeah. सर गोल सिर्फ स्ट्राइकर नहीं करता है, कभी मिडफील्डर्स करेंगे, कभी विंगर्स करेंगे, बट लिस्टन मनवे भाई कितना सेल्फिश है। आई डोंट नो व्हाई, बट आई थिंक मोहम्मद कैन आल्सो रिप्लेस हिम। शिवम, could be, and you're right, it is not just on the strikers to score goals, but the point here is who's going to score the goals, right? So for me, that's the big question, and that's the thing is yeah,
एक चीज सर और है कि नो डाउट आपने शिवम भाई बिल्कुल सही बोला कि बाकी प्लेयरों की भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है गोल स्कोर करना, बट सीइंग इंडियाज प्लेइंग स्टाइल, आपकी प्लेइंग स्टाइल क्या है, आपका विंग से ही सारा होता है कि भाई विंग से क्रॉसेस डालने हैं, आप मिडिल ऑफ द पार्क से तो आपका कोई ऐसा बिल्डअप होकर कोई अटैक बनता नहीं है ड्यू टू योर प्लेयर्स क्वालिटी, तो आप रिलाई करते हो कि भाई सेट पीसेस, कॉर्नर एंड ये जो विंग से आपके विंगर क्रॉसेस डालेंगे और आपका स्ट्राइकर वहां पे है, तो वैसे ही आप देखिए कि हमारा गेम प्ले भी रिसेंटली दिखा है, तो उसमें नंबर 9 का भाई जो रोल है वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट बन जाता है कि आपके पास ऐसा एक बॉक्स के अंदर होना चाहिए टारगेट मैन की जो फिनिश चांसेस को फिनिश कर पाए। और ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने ये जो पिछले 10 मैचेस हारे हैं लगातार, उसमें कोई भी चांसेस नहीं बनाए, चांसेस जो बनाए हम उसको कन्वर्जेशन रेट भी हमारा बहुत बुरा है, हम नहीं कर पाते फिनिश। आप देखिए, और जो जैसे सर ने बोला कि हम साफ टाइम पे भी जो गोल मार रहे थे, उस टाइम पे भी हमारा कन्वर्जेशन रेट उतना बढ़िया नहीं था। वी हैव क्रिएटेड ए मेनी चांसेस बट फिनिश नहीं कर पाते, तो दैट इज द एरिया की जहां पे सबकी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी है कलेक्टिवली, बट मेन तो ऑब्वियसली आप बोलेंगे कि भाई स्ट्राइकर भी आपके पास होना चाहिए कि वो कैन स्कोर अ गोल।
Yeah, I agree. Shokas says, honestly, Manolo is working with a team that's the worst team in the history of Indian football with terrible form and federation. If in 1 year we could become a decent team, that would be magical. I think, Shokas, to me, it's not about becoming a decent team. For me, it's, I think, honestly, at the moment, if I look at next year and the qualifiers for the AFC Asian Cup 2027, it's about qualifying. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not looking for great football, brilliant football, this, that, everything. That is what Manolo could potentially build up to 2027, right? That would be the time frame. And that's what Steven did, right? 2015, we were terrible. 3.5 later, 3.5 years, I mean, we lost to Guam, in Guam, right? And then down the road
2015 तो सर आई थिंक वी हैव बीन 175 कितने रैंकिंग पे थे, बहुत ही हमारा आई थिंक वन ऑफ द लोएस्ट पॉइंट।
Yeah, lowest ranking ever.
One of the lowest
172, we lost to Guam, and 3.5 years later, Steven not only gets us to the Asian Cup, we beat Thailand 4-1. So it is possible. You know, it is possible to turn this problem. Also with this team is not as bad as they are playing. That is my humble opinion. We're not as bad as we're playing at the moment. So our challenge is to become better. Very simple. So that's the thing that to me, main point here is to become better than what we are at the moment. And at the moment, yeah, that's the challenge for this team. Right? Can Manolo go with false 9 as no proper strikers there? Yes, of course. Huh? I mean, anyone, again, Farooq Chaudhary is not a natural number 9. Edmund, some people demand, is not a natural number 9. Even Changte has played this for Mumbai City. Liston has played it for Mohun Bagan. So we have multiple options as a false number 9. But again, the question is, what does Manolo want? If he only takes one striker on paper along, then that question has to be asked. Hi, Narsing. Why A-League is getting delayed? I thought A-League got Sony for broadcasting. If so, then there shouldn't be delay. Showcast, is it just about the broadcasting or is it about the scheduling? And the biggest question is, what about the Indian under-20s? I think that's a big question. You know, so therefore, yeah, that's the reality of, would be my logic. I think especially the Indian under-20s could be, and they might delay the league so much, maybe that the Indian under-20s maybe only join in January once they've done the transfers, or of course they're also looking at the funding, right? The AIFF has a money problem.
एक रीजन ये भी बताया जा रहा है कि अभी तक जो भी वेन्यूज है क्लब्स के होम ग्राउंड, वो अभी भी रेडी नहीं है। ऐसा भी है, कुछ ग्राउंड्स में भी स्टिल नॉट रेडी फॉर द मैचेस, तो इसकी वजह से भी थोड़ा सा में भी डिले हो रहा है। बट ये सारा आई थिंक सारी चीजें आपकी वो है फॉल्ट पे।
That's the challenge, na? Shivan says, sir, as a Mohun Supergiant fan, I don't understand why Mohun Supergiant signed Priyank Dubey when we have Dheeraj for 1 year, whom I know is going to leave next year, but signed Hussein Bukhari, Raja Burman, etc. Maybe someone for their, reserve side to play RFDL, or maybe, gain exposure, and that's going to be an interesting one to see. If AFC have guts, then ban Al Nassr. Why only Mohun Bagan Supergiant? And Narsing, very simply, they have asked a question if their match can be moved. Their time will come in 2 weeks when they have to travel. And let's see what happens in the 2 weeks. We're still, everybody said Israel's going to strike. Someone told me last night Israel's going to strike. It still hasn't happened, right? So that suspense is there. So if the situation remains as it is, even Al Nassr will have to travel. AFC doesn't care if it's Mohun Bagan or Al Nassr. Get that out of your head. They have banned West Asian teams from Saudi Arabia, from the UAE, from Iran, from Qatar. They have all been banned in the past for wrongdoings, even East Asian teams. So it's, get over this paranoia. Have you heard of Andre Lakshmikant, Indian who plays in Portugal? Is he Indian passport or Portuguese? I've heard the name. I don't know. He plays at a lower level over there. Guys, I don't know. But that's not 18-year-old Gopi Priyansh Dubey. Shivam, we just spoke about it. Prithviraj says, see, Al Nassr has communicated to AFC last week for their match on 27 October against Estegal. And that is what Mohun Bagan didn't do. This exactly, if you understand the process, this is my only thing that here where I get very, very angry nowadays. People don't understand the basic process of communication, of reaching out and letting people know kya ho raha hai. Our people live in their own little bubble, in their own little world. It starts with ends with Indian football, and then they say, you know what, we will win AFC Cup. Oh, you know what, we'll win ACL2. Right? And people believe blindly. And that is my concern, that people are not understanding. Right?
ट्रांसपेरेंसी सर नहीं है ना. आप देखिए
कल requested to play at a neutral venue. Exactly. That is what Mohun Bagan could have also asked, and they would have gotten the same answer. At the moment, no. At the moment, the match is happening. Sorry,
एंड सर नहीं, ट्रांसपेरेंसी सर होनी चाहिए ना. आप देखिए कल मेरे को अच्छा लगा जो ओडिशा एफसी के प्रेसिडेंट ने वो डाला, वो फैंस के रिगार्डिंग कि भाई हमारी गलती हुई कि हमने फॉरेन प्लेयरों की उस तरह से टीम रेडी नहीं कर पाई. बाकी जो प्रॉब्लम्स थे, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव के प्रॉब्लम्स थे या फिर वुमेन्स इंडियन प्लेयरों को जो साइन करने में दी, वो उन्होंने रखी सामने, फैंस के सामने बात की. ऐसा नहीं कि उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया कि भाई नहीं हमने तो अच्छी टीम बनाई थी या फिर प्लेयरों की क्वालिटी. उन्होंने जो चीजें थी वो बताई. तो आई थिंक क्लब की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है, और ऐसा तो नहीं है कि भाई क्लब मैनेजमेंट की ओर से कभी गलती हो ही नहीं सकती. हर किसी से गलती होती है. तो आपकी ओर से हुई है तो उसमें एक्सेप्ट करने में क्या चीज दिक्कत है?
I'll just take the last comment just to bring you as an example. Al Hilal was kicked out of AFC qualifiers because they fielded 11 players and one player wasn't on the pitch. I think they aren't biased to. Exactly, that's the point. That's if you understand how these systems run, then you would understand that they don't care who you are. I mean, FIFA, think about it, transfer bans, right? FIFA has banned Barca, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Imposed transfer bans. They don't care. Everyone is the same. And all this Gulf oil money, this, that. Listen, the AFC office is run by Indians and Malaysian Indians. It's our people who run the bloody office. Do you understand that? No, you don't. So the point here is that people are saying and making up stories and this and that. And sadly, I have to say, Sanskar, yes, Bengali media is spreading propaganda about Mohun Bagan Super Giants. Sorry to say that. I have to say that.
शिवम भाई का भी सर लास्ट में कमेंट, बट वो मोहन बागान ने कम रिक्वेस्ट किया? 30 तारीख को किया न्यूट्रल वेन्यू का. भाई आपका मैच था 2 तारीख को.
I take another. Shivan says, but what about you say about the foreign ministry circular which stated no unnecessary travel to Israel and Iran for the people? When did it come out? On the 2nd of October. Someone tagged me on that. Boria Mojumdar posted it. The match is on the bloody 2nd of October. You're supposed to travel on the 29th or even on the 30th. Your own people are in those countries. People at the moment are traveling to Israel for work because there is no jobs in India. Right? Do you understand that? What is the value of this circular? What is the value?
ये वो सर उसने वो गलत बताया आप एग्जैक्टली कि भाई जो इंडियन मिनिस्ट्री ने, फॉरेन मिनिस्ट्री ने जो सर्कुलर डाला था वो 1st या 2nd को डाला है. आपका ट्रैवलिंग टाइम था 29th को.
Second, the date is 2nd. I've seen that. It's on the 2nd. That is the match day. My question is, if that is the problem, how can an Indian citizen as a match commissioner travel to Iran? Simple question. And he flew in, was treated like a king over there, and came back with no problem.
Not only sir, the match commissioner, also the AFC and जो मैच को ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए आपका पूरा स्टाफ आने वाला था, रेफरी से लेके सब कोई पहुंच चुका था. Everyone was there.
Everyone went in, everyone went out. Sanskar says Hiren Bhai playing Gujarat Knight Rider just like Chetalal. Okay. Oh God. Nasik says Hiren Patel is new captain of India. He had became the first ever Indian player to play in La Liga with FCB, and now he's on his way to break Messi's gold Ballon d'Or record. Hiren, bhai, expectations are growing by the second, huh, Hiren? So
वो तो
I think
सोचने
I'll have to.
थोड़ी कि पैसा देना पड़ता है सर.
Could you please next time wear a Barca jersey and I'll do an exclusive interview with you as a Barca player? I think.
बिल्कुल.
Share your experience with Thai journalists after and before 4-1 thrashing. Rishikesh, I wasn't there as a journalist. I was there on an invitation from the AFC, and I watched it amongst others with then AFC. Sorry, not then. The AFC General Secretary, Winsor John. The then Secretary of AIFF, Kushal Das, was there. Sunanda Dhar was with us. I-League CEO at the time. Chirag Tana at the time with FSDL. Other people as well. So I was actually not there as a journalist. I was just supporting India. I was there as a fan. And the experience was good because, again, why am I telling you that the AFC is mainly Indian? Because most of the AFC staff were celebrating that 4-1 win. At some stage, the president of the Thai Football Association spoke to certain people and said, you guys need to be neutral. You know that you're of this. He said it jokingly, but maybe he meant it in a serious way. But the AFC staff was celebrating India's win. So that's why I know that the AFC office is Indian, right? So this is what you need to know. Have Armando Sadiku retired from international football? Not that I know of.
नहीं रिटायर नहीं किया उन्होंने.
But again, he's playing in India. Maybe that's why there are other players who have preferred to him. Have noticed Sunil's gameplay is very different compared to previous seasons for BFC. Seems like an advanced playmaker this season. Also created a lot of goal-scoring chances. I don't know, Hiren, what you feel. I have a feeling that Sunil no longer being the Indian national team captain, a lot of pressure is off his head, shoulders.
True. वो अब सिर्फ एक फ्री उनको मतलब आप बोल सकते हैं ना कि बिना प्रेशर के, और बीएफसी में भी चाहे भले वो कैप्टन है, बट आई थिंक वो फ्रीली वो खेल पा रहे हैं, आई थिंक, एंड दैट्स रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन हिज परफॉर्मेंस आल्सो दिस सीजन. लास्ट सीजन आप देखिए, आई थिंक वन ऑफ हिज वर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस इन आईएसएल.
या एंड आल्सो हिरेन, द होल बीएफसी टीम इज मच better, right?
Better, true.
You feel the atmosphere is good. You realize that the influence Saragossa, and again a very important influence in that dressing room is my very, very good friend Mr. Randy Singh. Very good coach, but he's the best friend for anybody and everybody, and that I think also helps. I think the chemistry in that team is very, very strong at the moment. When Constant came, India was 173, and when he left 4 years later, we were 96. Yeah. Blue says, hello, sir, I think our team needs a proper number 9. False 9 will not suit our style. I agree, Blue, but if you don't have options, what are you going to do? I don't know, Hiren, what you feel. I think we need a real striker, but if we don't have a real striker, what does the coach, what does Manolo then do? How do you then?
I think आपको अकॉर्डिंग टू द सिचुएशन आपको सॉल्यूशन ढूंढने पड़ेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मनोलो मार्केस का भी, चलो जो उसने आई थिंक बिफोर द ज्वाइनिंग द नेशनल टीम एक अच्छी चीज बोली थी कि मैं जो कोई स्पेन का क्लब अगर मैनेज कर रहा हूँ तो वहां की जो फुटबॉल में खिलाऊंगा अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्लेयर वो डिफरेंट होगी कंपेयर टू आईएसएल में जो प्लेयर मेरे को मिलते हैं. सो सेम गोस फॉर द नेशनल टीम. उनके पास जिस तरह के प्लेयर एट द मोमेंट अवेलेबल है उसके अकॉर्डिंग उनको खिलाना पड़ेगा. नो डाउट ही आल्सो वांट्स कि भाई मेरे को एक प्रॉपर मतलब सुनील छेत्री जैसा स्ट्राइकर मिल जाए कि जो आपको गोल स्कोर करके दे. बट एट द मोमेंट आपके पास, आपको पता है कि आपके जो टॉप टियर लीग है उसमें नो वन प्लेस ऑन दैट पोजीशन फ्रॉम इंडिया साइड. सो यू हैव टू फाइंड अदर सॉल्यूशन कि भाई किस तरह से दूसरे लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करके, जो कि क्योंकि एक चीज ये जरूरी है कि कोई भी चाहे प्लेयर हो, कोई सी भी पोजीशन पे खेल रहा हो, इट नीड्स टू बी ना, यू कैन से कि कॉन्फिडेंस वाइज, एंड वो यहाँ पे अपने क्या बोलते हैं कि क्लब लेवल पे अच्छा कर रहा है. विदाउट दैट इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि आप भाई सीधा आके नेशनल टीम में वो परफॉर्मेंस यहाँ पे रेप्लिकेट कर पाओगे. बिकॉज एक तो हमारे लिए अलग से चैलेंज ये भी है कि भाई आपकी लीग का लेवल एंड इंटरनेशनल लेवल में भी काफी डिफरेंट होता है. तो अगर आप लीग लेवल पे अच्छा नहीं कर रहे हो देन तो फिर इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे तो मुश्किल है कि आप वहाँ पे एकदम से वो मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि बेटर कर पाओगे. सो आई थिंक ये जरूरी है.
Agree. Raroga Baba asks, are we a mid-tier Asian team if we play to our potential? Yeah. I would say we are mid-level with or without our potential. I think we're not a lower level Asian team, but I think we are a little higher up in that bracket of mid-level Asian team when we play to our potential. Let's put it this way. So I think we don't move out of that because we're not going to move into the, let's say, the worst 5 or worst 7 teams in Asia. I think for that, we're way too strong. There are way weaker teams than us. But again, we need to get our act together. Nasir says, David Lazwala, Edmund, Vikram, Pratap Singh, and Kian Nasir are best choice for striker currently. None of them is David is a striker, yes, but none of them is even ISL level. How are they candidates to be striker for the national team when we have other players? That's my problem. Kian, of this lot, Kian to me is the most talented, but Kian needs to become a regular. Edmund, now another season, yes, with Interkashi, then he has to play ISL to prove. Vikram has the potential, surely, and David has to prove it. David, yes, does score his goals, but again, look at when and how he scores his goal. How many minutes does he even have in the I-League in the last few years? So therefore, these 4, I don't know, Hiren, what you think? I don't see them as striking options.
आई थिंक नो डाउट डेफिनेटली सर कि इनको पहले मतलब रेगुलरली अपने क्लब के लिए खेलना पड़ेगा एंड देन डेफिनेटली आप बोल सकते हो कि दे कैन बी कैंडिडेट.
Do you think we have players in the national pool that is every Indian football player to qualify for AFC Asian Cup? Players in ISL and I-League, do they have potential to be used by Manolo for qualifying? To me, we have the quality to qualify for the Asian Cup. Yes, more in the ISL than the I-League. I think from the I-League to the international level, the step is too big. I think there are exceptions. Yes, there will be players like Edmund, but we have the potential, but it depends on the group because we're not settled. My concern, we are not settled at the moment, and that is a big problem. Hiren?
यस आई एग्री. आई थिंक ये सब सबसे बड़ा जो चैलेंज मेरे को लगता है कि मनोलो मार्केस को यही है कि उनके पास अभी ये आई थिंक मैक्सिमम 3 मैचेस बचे हैं कि जहां पे उनको अपनी टीम सॉर्ट आउट कर देनी है. इन मार्च यू नीड टू डिलीवर अ रिजल्ट, सिंपल एज दैट. सो आपके पास अब एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए या फिर जो भी आपको देखने की कौन सी गेम स्टाइल या फिर कौन सी टेक्टिक्स बेस्ट रहेगी इस टीम के लिए, यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट इन दिस 2-3 मैचेस. एंड उसके बाद तो आपको यहाँ पे रिजल्ट के ऊपर फिर देखिए आपके पास जो गुडविल है वो फिर काम नहीं आएगी बिकॉज एशियन कप क्वालिफायर करना इज मस्ट. अगर आप अभी तक एशियन कप में भी रेगुलर नहीं हो पाए हो या फिर क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाते हो देन तो फिर क्या ही बोले, मतलब तो आपका फिर तो जो फुटबॉल डेवलपमेंट है वो क्या ही बोले. तो ये वाली चीज है. सो आई थिंक ही नीड्स टू सॉर्ट आउट दैट एंड टाइम कम है. एंड ये एक चीज देखिए, ये ऐसा नहीं कि मनोलो मार्केस के साथ है. आप देखिए कि फुटबॉल अभी जिस पेस पे खेला जाता है सारी चीजें होती है, आप ये मतलब एक बोलने के लिए अच्छी चीज होती है कि भाई प्रोजेक्ट है हमारा 2-3 साल का और ये हम धीरे धीरे टीम बिल्ड करेंगे, पर टाइम होता नहीं है एक्चुअल में कोचेस के पास. आप चाहे क्लब लेवल पे भी देखिए, नेशनल लेवल टीम के लिए भी देखिए, कोचेस हमको लगता है कि नहीं भाई उनको साल में कम मैचेस वो करने हैं, बट फिर भी वो रिजल्ट का एक्सपेक्टेशन तो आपके ऊपर हमेशा से रहता ही है. एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे अगर रिजल्ट नहीं आते तो पहले जो क्रिटिसाइज होंगे वो कोच ही होंगे. सो यहाँ पे आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई मनोलो मार्केस को ये यहाँ पे जो अपनी बेस्ट पॉसिबल यहाँ पे क्या बोलते कि मे बी 7-8-10 प्लेयर्स ऐसे कोर प्लेयर ढूंढने पड़ेंगे कि जिसके अराउंड ही कैन मूव अहेड
and build his core team. I think that's the
yes
that's the I think the biggest challenge for Manolo is trying to find the team that will deliver. Nasing as Sports 18 telecasting India versus Vietnam. Have you heard anything? I have not heard a confirmation.
नहीं, ये YouTube में आ रहा है, YouTube में आने वाला है. VFF जो फेडरेशन का जो चैनल है वियतनाम के, उसके YouTube चैनल पे आने वाला है.
So that is confirmed, but maybe there will be a broadcast in India. So keep watching the AIFF social medias; they will announce it. Because who will score from the crosses? Yeah, Blue. That's the next point. That's again we need to find ways of how to score. I think we need to again long range attempts, corners, this, that. We need to what every other team in the world does. Blue States, instead of fielding U20 and I-League, AIFF could have set up underage leagues. No, they can't. You see, that's the point, Blues. I think we need to differentiate between setting up leagues and between the under-20s playing. I think for the under-20s to play the I-League would be the exposure that some of these boys in the long run might be playing ISL. Our under-17 World Cup boys, look at where all these boys are. Just look at the squad from 2017. Look at where they are, and all of some of them have. Again, Apuya wouldn't be Apuya if he hadn't played in the Arrows. Prabsukan Gill would not be what he is, and some of the others as well, right? And therefore, I think it makes sense. Yes, I think we need an under 19 league. I think we need under 13, 15, 17, and 19. But I know that a lot of clubs, a lot of academies don't want that. They say that three youth teams for me is enough for which I can fund. Alan Momus's Constantine era was all about being realistic. He made players play according to their strength. Maybe he could have evolved them to something more like Real Madrid. Oof. That's a big ask, Anand. The first part I agree with you. The Real, I don't know, he didn't with you. Real to compare with Real Madrid and Ancelotti.
ज़्यादा हो गया वो.
ज़्यादा हो गया, थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हो गया in the sense of that Ancelotti has some of the best players in the world in his squad, right? I mean, if you think that in the last few years you had Kroos and Modric in that midfield, you had Sergio Ramos and other people.
एक चीज जो आनंद भाई ने बोली कि rather than players according to their strength, according to their limitation, उसने डेवलप किया था कि ये प्लेयरों की लिमिटेशन इतनी है, तो इससे मैं ये चीज नहीं करवाऊंगा, इनसे ये नहीं होगा. तो उन्होंने वो जो आपका बोल सकते हैं कि जो आपका क्या बोलते हैं कि हराम बॉल, या फिर आप जो बोलते हैं कि भाई ये ट्रेडिशनल जो आपके कॉर्नर्स, सेट पीसेस, सेकंड बॉल विन करके, और इस तरह की जो फुटबॉल है उसके ऊपर फोकस किया कि भाई ये प्लेयर यही खेल सकते हैं, इसकी लिमिटेशन है वही है कि आप इससे अगर पोजीशन बेस्ड या फिर वो पासिंग वाला फुटबॉल खिलाओगे तो ये नहीं कर पाएंगे.
The problem is you're comparing again a team which has won the Champions League. So look at the last 2-3 years, Real Madrid winning, how they won or how they reached the latter stages of the Champions League. Look at the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund is 60 minutes better than Real Madrid, but Real Madrid absorbed the pressure. And then, 2 goals and khatam. And they've done that multiple times. Right? India is not in a position to absorb that pressure. Steven did do something, yes, but India also had, at the time, you had Sunil, you had JJ. At the start, you had Eugenson, but later on, also you had Udanta in his prime. You had options, So that is something at the moment which is missing. That if you had a Sunil and a JJ in this team, we wouldn't be talking the way we're talking at the moment. I want India to play San Marino only for research purposes. Okay, Rishikesh. But according to Mohun Bagan, Hub Twitter said that Mohun Supergiant requested for neutral venue to host the match. Isn't that true? But just to answer that once more, yes, but it happened once they didn't travel. So this is a request you make 2 weeks earlier. So we have it on record. Again, as Nasser now has. Sorry, Navada, but Drogbaba made real on Mohun Bagan ACL2 withdraw and portrayed Mohun Bagan as innocent and showed them right without knowing full story just for some views. Mayor, it is up to Shashwat to do what he thinks is right or wrong. I think the important thing is, I think if a lot of these discussions are happening without the understanding of what needs to be done or not. Indian teams are participating in international military games on October 2nd and 4th. Yeah. So you're saying Al Nassr will play the match if the match was on October 2nd, not October 22nd. Even Mohun Bagan has to play on 22nd. Mohun Bagan also informed Al Nassr, but how they got the time in that situation.
वो बोल रहे हैं कि अल नस्र का मान लीजिए कि 2 अक्टूबर को मैच होता तो क्या वो खेलते?
They would have been in the country. If the match would have taken place or not is a different question, as Hiren said earlier, right? But the Al Nassr would have traveled. This is what you're not understanding, guys. It doesn't matter who you are. The AIFF, and I said that on his channel, if you like it or not, we're talking about professional sports, and the sporting bodies will try to keep systems running as long as possible. My perfect example is COVID. Football and other sports were some of the first things started during COVID in May 2020. People's factories were closed and shut, but they started playing professional sports again. So therefore, be it the AFC, be it UEFA, be it all the other confederations, be it the national leagues, everybody will try and play a game as long as they can. Right? That prevention to travel was for unnecessary reason, not for work. Their security would have been given by Iran. Yeah, exactly. That's another point. Do you think that Iran on its territory and Israel as the so-called potential aggressor would hurt a football team? Whoever would be at fault, the global outcry would be disastrous for any of those sides. So as a sporting team, it sounds bizarre. As a sporting team, you are more secure than even if you are a journalist or a politician. This needs to be understood. Daroga Baba says, BCCI destroyed Hiren Bhai career. Okay, that's an interesting one. I think I need to do a separate story, the real history of Hiren Patel, why the Barcelona great didn't play for India or something. ऐसे एक video करना पड़ता है. And Sanskar, what combination of team, Liston, Harry, both hitting sixes in national team to save Indians in Iran leaving. Lovely. Nice one, guys. I like this. This is good. This is right, Dad. With all the bad things happening in Indian football, let's have a little bit of fun as well. Kamal is asking, is Mohun Bagan banned? Yes, Kamal. Mohun Bagan at the moment is banned by the AFC from the competitions. Randy Singh's Classic Football Academy destroying our U17 team. I don't know why Ishfaq is doing favors to him. Why is Randy's Classic Football Academy destroying it? Can you explain it to me? Renedy is this Classic Football Academy boys are mostly better educated than the rest. Then I would ask the question to Ishfaq, is he getting the best out of these boys? That would be my question. Did you see them in the last two editions of the Under-17 League? How they won it? That was, for Indian standards, good, very good football. And if you know that is what dedication not only Randy but the others have put into creating the academy and keeping it running, I think a lot of other people can learn something from them. So therefore, guys, again, half-truths, knowing half-truths. If you don't know the facts, please don't spread it, because this is wrong information. Wherever you got it, it's totally bogus. Shoka's asking, Roshan or Sangwan, Ashish or Nikhil, is Akash Mishra better, or Roshan or Sangwan? If you ask me, Hiren, I don't know what you think. I would rather start Roshan on the right and Sangwan on the left.
True. I agree. I think Roshan for me is at the moment Roshan for me is the must. Either it's left or right.
But Manolo karega?
That is the big question. इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल कप में तो आई थिंक नहीं खिलाया था उसको. उस टाइम पे थोड़ा सा आई थिंक निगल का भी था, ऐसा बोला था उसने. बट आई थिंक seeing his form for BFC and how he's at the moment playing, जो मतलब 2 साल पहले 1.5 साल पहले जब वो नेशनल टीम में आए थे 2 साल पहले, वो जो रोशन थे उसी टच में वापस मतलब क्या बोलते वापस दिख रहे हैं. सो फॉर मी एट द मोमेंट जो आपने 5 फुल बैक सिलेक्ट किए हैं, बोस, सांगवान, रोशन, निखिल एंड पूजा, आपके राय, 5 में से एट द मोमेंट आप मेरे को बोलेंगे तो आई विल पुट, यू कैन से कि रोशन फर्स्ट, कि आप चाहे उसको लेफ्ट पे खिलाए राइट पे खिलाए. बाकी सांगवान को आई थिंक सर, सांगवान को मेरे को मतलब करा सकता है मनोलो, वो आई थिंक इंटरेस्टिंग कॉल होगा उसकी ओर से.
The question is if Manolo has seen enough of him in Goa, and that's an advantage for him. So he has seen him closely for the last few weeks. So therefore, that really, I think Sangwan has that thing that he could, and he's more experienced of a player, right? So that would be not. Sanskar adds, Ambani is waiting for Harry Bhai so he can give 100 crore deal to him so he can become face of Mumbai Indians, but Harry Bhai stay loyal for Gujarat Knight Riders. Nice, Sanskar, nice one. ये तो हो गया.
बट लॉयल किस चीज के रहे कि वहां पे गुजरात नाइट राइडर्स में वो अदानी दे रहा है फिर 150 करोड़.
So you have,
फिर बोलते हैं कि
you have your money is sorted here, ना? So ठीक है.
नहीं तो फिर बताया जाता है लोगों को कि ये बंदा लॉयल रहा है भाई, कि हाँ ये क्लब के लिए लॉयल रह गया. पीछे से ये डील हो जाती है कि भाई 150 करोड़ देंगे हम, तुम रुक जाओ.
So if you one day suddenly realize Hiren no longer doing YouTube videos, you know Hiren has moved on to bigger things in life. Prithviraj says David is more of a poacher. Yeah, I agree. Has a little bit of what Ishan Pandita sort of has, but again, we need a starting number 9. We don't need a, we also do need someone for the last 15 minutes, but it's very, very difficult. Why can't our wingers play as a proper 9 after playing as wingers in club? It happens everywhere. Blue, we've discussed it. Again, we've got some options, and then that's the question that I think, let's see what Manolo does. Rivera says classic football academy players were also in Bibiano's last U17 match. Exactly. And they're also part of the under-20s now. Why can't people understand that Rahim played really well as centre forward whenever he played for India? Just because he wasn't able to finish doesn't mean he was bad. He had space, strength, and offensive awareness. Shokas, I agree. I don't know if you agree, Hiren, but I also have that same feeling.
ये चीज से मैं एग्री करता हूँ, बट द सो कास्ट बाय द मतलब जो फैंस का परसेप्शन बनता है या फिर जो हार्श रियलिटी है कि अगर आप स्ट्राइकर हो तो यू हैव टू स्कोर अ गोल्स, चाहे आप बाकी कितनी भी चीजें अच्छी कर लो, अगर आप गोल नहीं मार पा रहे हो सो आप ये नहीं बोले जाओगे कि आप अच्छा स्ट्राइकर हो. सो दैट इज द हार्श रियलिटी. तो आई थिंक रहीम अली अगर उसके ऊपर यहाँ पे उसको अगर कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाए, आई थिंक उसके पास मेरे को लगता है कि स्किल सेट भी जस्ट अबाउट द कॉन्फिडेंस. आई डोंट नो कि वो अगर आ जाता है, आई थिंक देन डेफिनेटली ही कैन बी एट द मोमेंट बेस्ट. मेरे हिसाब से ऑप्शन वही उस सेंस में, जैसे आपने बोला कि जो वर्क रेट वो देता है, जो फिजिकलिटी है, everything all the other aspect of his game style, definitely. But the thing is he needs to score goals, otherwise चाहे हम कितना भी बोल ले कि वर्क रेट दे रहा है, ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है.
Yeah. Edmund doesn't play a single match but still selected to national team. Is there any quota system? No. The coach thinks he's good. The coach will surely have spoken to Habas and asked him what's the status of the player, and then he's picked him up. So therefore, in my opinion, there is no. And also linked to that, why coaches keep favoring Manveer? He's tall, so only what is his quality? What do you think? Rishikesh, to me, we again, Manveer is in that sense something also like Rahim Ali. Puts in the effort. Does he do everything right? Of course not. I always remember in the past, Stephen Constantine used to be a huge fan of Holy Charan Nazri, right? And sometimes even used to pick Holy Charan Nazri in front of ahead of Ashik, and Ashik is the more talented, but again also wasteful. So that's the problem, that our coaches don't have the options. And what I've said in the last few weeks also, I don't see Manolo being an experimental coach. He's not going to risk too much. He knows too much maybe he knows too much about the system, and that's let's see. Who are opponents in Asian Cup qualifiers already decided? No, Blue, the draw is in December, so let's wait and see who we face in those qualifiers. Why can't we just arrange a friendly with an ISL All-Stars team consisting only of foreign players? That would be better challenge than Lebanon. Daroga Baba, for that, maybe there is the opportunity. I don't know if, there could be an idea of an all-star game or something, but it's something that the ISL has never done. And also, will the clubs want to release the players? Who will coach this team? How is it going to set up? It's logistical nightmare.
इसके लिए लंबी प्लानिंग लगती है, और वो AIFF के पास वो है नहीं कुछ ऐसे करने के लिए. तो काफी सारी चीजें हो सकती है भाई, बट उसके लिए भाई आपके पास नॉलेज होना चाहिए किस तरह से उसको रियलिटी बनाना है, आपके एग्जीक्यूशन प्लान होना चाहिए, तब जाके ये सारी चीजें हो जाती है. सिर्फ स्टेटमेंट देने से थोड़ी हो जाती है.
I think main problem is in October camp, Anwar Ali will be Ramos, but in March he will become very average. I think consistency is main issue. Even national team coach is also confused. Consistency, Shayan, very, very well taken point. Don't think the national coach is confused. The national coach has to try and find the player who currently has the capabilities of playing international football, and then that player has to be in form. That's the challenge for the national team coach. Today, you think player X is in good form, you pick him and he plays, you think, oh my God. Next time you then say, okay, I'll think about those players, and then you watch those players in training and think, okay, I still have to pick X because X is better than all of the lot. I think that's happening that's the reality of things. Hi Manolo, just in Iran World Cup qualifier round 3 matches will be moved in either of Tashkent or Dubai confirmed. It is happening. Yeah, FIFA decision, right? So therefore, again, this is also needs to be, what duo Jethalal and Hiren Bhai playing in same team 100 in 2 overs head mein kya karo jab okay, I'm not going to say the words. Bashar says Kamalnath, sorry, but for me, Edwin is the best player in national team. Hope he gets to us soon. Best Indian player of I League 23-24, 8 assists, 4 goals, Super Cup goals, Durand Cup goals, best performer in national camp. He adds, he dances past national team first choice defenders in training sessions and matches whenever he faces them, can deliver crosses, can score goals, and has leading mentality. Talking about 2024 national camp, but not about past players. Okay. Interesting viewpoint, Vashwar. I wouldn't agree on that, to be very honest, because I don't think he's ready for the national team. I felt he was, when he came on in Kolkata, it looked like he was on steroids and he's trying to prove a point. And he was in Canada. Friends of mine run those clubs. The assessment wasn't good, right? So let's be honest about it. So therefore, too positive in my opinion, your assessment of it. Sorry, my friend. Also, Real Madrid had that 12th man. Yeah, Blue, that's another discussion. Still, he didn't start for national team. So what is the use? I feel just like filling the quota. Nah, I don't think so. Hi, Kumar. Asha says, he isn't starting, but wait for him to start. Hope he does well. And one thing I'm assure you, among all players, even if quota exists, isn't one. I wish he had quota though. Instead, I don't know why Isaac hasn't been given a chance yet while Nanda Kumar is constant. Nanda Kumar was constant. Now he's out. But the question is, I think all of these players are interchangeable. There's no one where I would say, you know what? I don't know, Hiren, what you feel. This player, that player, or that player will directly make an impact and make a difference. That's my big concern. And what I've seen over the last few years is, so therefore for me, yeah, most of the players are interchangeable.
नंदा को तो बट अभी ड्रॉप कर दिया ना, नंदा को तो इस स्कोर से तो ड्रॉप कर दिया.
So for me is, yeah, my biggest problem at the moment is also the senior level players, the senior players. Raul Baker is my best example. Who people wanted to go, right? Is our best centre back at the moment, and he's not even natural centre back.
इसीलिए देखो, इंडियन, मेरे को लगता है सर कि इंडियन प्लेयरों का एक चीज, जैसे हम बार बार बात करते हैं कि कंसिस्टेंसी हमारे प्लेयरों की है ही नहीं. मतलब एक सीजन आईएसएल में भी अच्छा करेंगे, दूसरे सीजन में तो जब वो अच्छा कर रहे हैं ना, तभी उसको नेशनल टीम में पिक करना चाहिए. फिर उसको लंबा खींचते आप खींचते रहते हो, फिर उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. आई थिंक सही मौका वही है कि जब वो अच्छा कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज हमारे प्लेयरों का जो प्राइम है वो बहुत कम मतलब होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि हमारे प्लेयरों का प्राइम लंबा चलता है. तो एक सीजन हमने लिस्टन का तो मैं पिछले 3-4 सीजन से देख रहा हूँ कि एक सीजन अच्छा, नेक्स्ट कंप्लीटली वर्स्ट, फिर उसके नेक्स्ट वाला थोड़ा सा अच्छा, फिर कंप्लीटली वर्स्ट. तो ये देखो, ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, आप उसको खींचते ही जा रहे हो नेशनल टीम में. तो ये वाली दिक्कत है.
That's the problem. Blue says Nikhil and Roshan as our right and left back. Let's see what he thinks. I heard Manolo said there's no difference between India and Vietnam. Shishmit, good morning to you. Yeah. What else is he going to say? We are boys. And again, also always take the comments of coaches and players with a pinch of salt. Right? You have to say something. So that's my only thing. Manolo will play safe and start boss. देख लेना Harry भाई, बस experience wise. We will see, Sanskar, who he plays. Or Navada mentioned that Russia has been banned by FIFA. In that case, FIFA has nothing to do with geopolitics or not police of the world. FIFA has jurisdiction only in football. Kumar, Russia was banned by the IOC, which is the global body, and then most of the sporting bodies followed with that sanction. So therefore, they are banned. Harry Bhai can start business if Ambani and Adani give him money, 100 crore. Okay. Little piece of advice, Hiren.
बिल्कुल
He's the
इसी
best.
मनी के साथ सर मैं मतलब अभी क्या बोलते कि लीव करूंगा, लेकिन वो पैसे के साथ बिल्कुल, क्योंकि संस्कार भाई ने बोल दिया तो पैसे लेना भी जाना पड़ेगा.
Nice one. And that is something, yeah. So, Hiren, thanks a lot, for joining in short notice. And I've put it also in the title, Hiren's channel, Curious Harry. I think most of you do follow his channel already. If you don't, do follow Curious Harry, follow arunfoot as well. Hiren, thanks a lot, and I'll see you very, very soon.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Thanks, Hiren. Thanks. So that was Hiren joining. 1 second. Yeah, that was the format. So that was a little nice discussion, and I'll try and answer your questions as much as I can. The unknown says he's the best performing player. Other players have not even performing well. Edmund selection is least questionable. Yeah. Fans remember the missed chances. Yeah, in the case of Rahmanli, Raul Beki jidhar jata hai, idhar defense strong karta hai, says Sanskar. I agree. Any information from your side of football grassroots at village community level projects? Village level community projects, Anand. I've heard some things in some states, but I can't confirm you. So yeah. My playing 11, boy, I've not settled in. I was talking about something yesterday, right? I would play Gurpreet, Roshan, Beke, Sana, Sangwan, Suresh, Apuya, Changte, Brandon, Vikram, and Manvir. Yeah, that would be most probably my starting 11. Thoughts on Kalyan Chaube's height comment? Reporter Faker Gupta, not wise. Not very wise comment from Kalyan, yeah. Again, why are we getting into this height discussion? Does height help us? I don't know. Which player do you think should be forced to go out and try abroad? Prithviraj, no one, I feel. I think our players need to get better before they can, let's see. Hong Kong is approaching AFC qualifiers very differently. They are playing teams from Africa or AFC Europe, regardless of rankings. They're utilizing every FIFA window. Yeah, that's good, no? Why JJ took an early retirement? Because of injury, Daroga Baba. He got injured, knee was gone. So therefore, let's see. According to our performance in this year, do you think our ranking should be? We're 124, 125 in that region at the moment. Yeah, we are between 120 and 140, I would say. Do you think it's the end of Thapa Kota national team? I don't think so. It's just out, and let's see. So let's see what happens. Sunil was the only consistent player in national team. Yeah, Manvir can be good option right back. I don't think so. Even Pritam Kotal benched Homipan, Devjit benching Gill. Yeah, bro, I think the experienced players, again, we want young players, but it's not working. In HSC, did very good from 1929, moved to Mohun Bagan Supergiant, where he did great in 21-22, but since then he's scoring sixers. Yeah, that's the problem with Diston. All that insight is new or another. Thanks, but still hope for the best. On a lighter note, I think if Astrologer picked 2022 Asian Cup qualified team, then he should pick it to be played top football. Nice one, Washburn. Nice one. I like that one. That's a good one. If height is solution, then Manvir could play better than Messi because Manvir has more height than Messi. Yeah. Ranavada in that Kalyan Chaube height claims we should get Great Kali from WWE. Yeah. Kumar, just say which position you want the Great Kali to play. That would be interesting. Yeah. Sir, will you come night or not on regular time? Sanskar, I'm out tonight. Again, we are preparing our Durga Puja, so therefore, no nightly shows from today onwards. Most probably no shows in the next 4 or 5 days. Maybe doing a late night show once I'm home post the Puja, but yeah, next 5 days, tomorrow onwards, it's Durga Puja in Cologne, and let's see what I can do in that meanwhile. If Bose gets a chance to play in starting 11, then there's no hope. Vicky also starts playing, performing poor Bose run with referee pace. It's something different. To me, it's something different because I feel to put Raul Beke and Shubhashish Bose in the same bracket is not the thing. Qatar was run, it's cancelled. It seems no, they're looking at alternatives. Yeah, it's a FIFA decision. Do you see any FSG matches, and what do you think on Udanta playing as right back ballers, right forward for FSG? I think it's kind of works, but very unstable on right flank defensively. Prithviraj, an interesting one, I feel. I would have thought that Boris would be the defensive one because he's actually a right back with attacking instincts, and Udanta will be the attacking part in this combo, but it's the other way around. Yes, it is defensively unstable, but maybe it's the new avatar of Udanta, and let's see what he can maybe do in the mid to long term in that position. Right, that will be interesting to see how Udanta sort of makes it his position, the right back. So can you do a Puja vlog? Blue, let me see. A lot of work to do. Let me see what I can do. Maybe I'll try and do some Puja videos during that time. Prithviraj, that's an interesting, clever strategy, I guess, from Manolo. Yeah, I think, yeah, but not I think, it is Manolo's idea, yeah. Great Kali should play as centre forward. Nobody can mark him. Kali with Beke, 4-5 players. Kardega injured, okay. When SAF Championship would start? Next year. Don't ask me when. I think it will be again in June 2025, but yeah. So what keep you going by the lost cause is रात की सुबह कब और कैसे होगी जहाँ राजा चोर चोर आता है. Rishikesh, for me, it is passion, love, and dedication. Indian football has always been that for me. If it was about money, then I wouldn't do Indian football, right? So therefore, for me, it's love, passion, and I will continue as long as I can. I think Udanta kind of shifted down because of notice in the last few years. Season was lost that pace for which he was known for before. Yeah, I think that's the main issue, that the pace, that Udanta's pace no longer is that of the younger Udanta, and therefore that's an option. Again, if he can improve his defensive qualities, then I think Udanta is a very interesting option in the long run. So therefore that's something, and it's something that we'll see. Interesting is if Udanta in that position really can excel, and if he can excel in that position, maybe does Udanta down the road become an option as a right back? Will be very interesting to see. We lose too many stars too easily. Uranta's top scorer in TFA days. Nangamba Naurem, like it disappeared. Even played last year for Mohun Bagan reserves, and last list is long from Komal to Aman Chetri. Ashwar, the list over the years that I have been following in football would be much longer if I start. I mean, I remember Stephen Constantine gave chances to young TFA striker Vimal Paria. Lalampuya at the time was big. We've lost so many players over the years. So yeah, that's sadly part of football. Predict the score. Versus Vietnam. Kamal. See, I would like us to win, right? I would like us to finally get a first win of the year. But I fear Vietnam is going to beat us. Udatta is the best example of using Indian players in his prime. Otherwise, it will start to downgrade. Yeah. Well, now I say we do not see typical 3-5-2 formation. Yeah, because a lot of Indian players are not happy, but they're not capable of playing in that. Sorry, which one was best late drama goal or match this season? Late drama, I would say, for example, Mumbai coming back and drawing Mohun Bagan in the opener. Yeah, would be the one. Ramcham Chulova injury before even making to ISL national team, liked his game. Yeah, very very interesting wing back, but yeah, couldn't make it to the ISL. India will lose against Vietnam. Yeah, Vasu, that's my fear. But again, if I'm asked and I can present my hopes, my wishes, then I would always say I would like India to win, right? I mean, the heart wants India to win, but the head then says, you know what, actually normally Vietnam is going to lose it. Are we going to score a goal and make the ninth wonder of the world? The unknown. If we want to win, we have to score goals. So therefore, that is a must. I would like us to win. I would really like us to win, but I'm not sure if we can do that. So that's the challenge. And best late drama match. Sanskar, I'm blank at the moment. I would have to look at the ISL games and think which was late drama match. Again, if I want to, yeah. Ronaldo, do you think Kalyan Chau will stay for next term or Praful Patel faction will win the election? Who is the Praful Patel faction? Faction, right? And I'm honestly don't know what's going to happen in the next AIFF elections. When is that happening? When does the Supreme Court come out and make its judgment on all of this? Is at the moment, to me at least, it is unknown. So therefore, for me, difficult to comment on that. Those of you who might be new on this channel, 1 hour and 17 plus minutes already on this afternoon Indian football discussion. I'm doing it earlier today because I'll be busy later in the day with our Durga Puja preparations in Cologne. I'll be heading out in less than an hour, and therefore, decided to do it earlier. If you like what you're seeing, what you're watching, what you're hearing, do leave a like behind, do leave a share behind. Thanks to Hiren, of course, for joining today. 23 likes so far. Thank you very, very much. And yeah, if you're new, you like what you're seeing, do leave a subscription behind. 1,824. Hey, I lost a few subscriptions overnight, and then so hope you guys like it, and so yeah, thanks as always also to you guys who've been supporting me so long. Best goal of season, either Ray Tachikawa against East Bengal or Yoel Fanif versus Jamshedpur. Mumbai was goal last season, great last round match win for Mumbai. Yes, the unknown. We are conceding the goals 70 to 80th minute. Okay, Vasu. 12th October, 4:30 p.m. Once again, we put our mental peace at stake. Haha, let's do it together, stronger than Blue Tigers. Yeah, Mashwar, again, so therefore, the wish is there again, not only for me, but I think for all of us, the wish is there that India somehow wins this game, gets something going, gets a win, get a little positivity in, and change maybe the narrative. But again, some of the trust is missing at the moment. Again, I'm hoping that we win, but I'm not sure how can we get that across. How can we get that win over there, right? And that's something which we have. So yeah, let's hope what happens. Let's see what happens. Now that I forgot about the Supreme Court hearing, I do not know how many years will take judgment to come on new constitution. Kumar, yeah, welcome to our. These are all. Thank you for reading every comments, some YouTubers don't do that. So I try. I might miss out the one or the other, or if I find something written there which is inappropriate, I don't take it up. But I try here in my lives to accommodate everybody and everybody's opinion. And again, and if I don't agree, again, I am giving my viewpoint. I am giving how I understand the things, how I see that an AFC is interpreting the rules, how, let's say, FIFA is interpreting the rules, or how the AIFF is interpreting the rules. So therefore, this is how I do it. Not everybody has to agree with me. I try to be as honest as I can. That's why I say, if you can, do support me, come forward, support arunfoot here on YouTube, and therefore, thanks a lot. And I like these interactions. And again, I'm taking time out of work, out of preparation time. Could have just been chilling the last 1.5 hours, but I'm not, and therefore, your support is welcome, and I try to get across what I feel is right. I'm not going to give you some blah blah. Sometimes it might come across as Gyan or being, oh, he seems to know it better. Maybe I do. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping for a 0-0 draw because I don't see our goal. Okay, the unknown. I feel because one individual blunder and we'll lose the match. See, that's the problem, right? We are in such a negative cycle with Indian football now that we are thinking immediately that we are going to concede. That to me is the scary part, that we are going on and on and on and on and talking about these things, and we are in the situation like, you know what, we're going to concede, we will lose this, that, and everything, and that to me is, to say the least, is disturbing, right? Vashwa says yes, fingers crossed. Exactly, Vashwa. For me, I would like, after the Intercontinental Cup last month, that Manolo is able to change things, that he was able to turn things around and make us feel a little better, just feel a little better, right? I don't want us to win 3-0 or 4-0 and, be living in a false dream or whatever. I want us just to, try and get something where we can, if the basics are okay, if we're able to play football to a certain style and a level, and that's the start. So therefore, these are things that I feel are important, and therefore, let's see what it is, and where we can take everything and make it possible for us. Another, in future, ISL will be divided in top teams, mid teams, bottom teams. One more question: if relegation starts, ISL will be more competitive and cruel, punishing on silly mistakes. Again, is it going to be more competitive? I don't know if it's going to be more competitive. Kumar, if you ask me, it could be. It doesn't have to be, because in a season like last, Hyderabad would have been relegated. Done, khatam, finished. We saw last season, we had a top 5, and which turned out into a top 4, and sort of the Blasters were in no man's land. Then we had the rest of the league trying to get into the playoffs, and then we had Hyderabad. So that indirect division was already there. So that's going to be always there, and it's there in every league in some sort of form way. Changte man we listen, no one inform how we win, how we score. Yeah, that's a very valid question. Yeah. So, yeah. Good evening, Nixon. Welcome back. East Bengal relegated this season. Sanskar, we have no relegation. So, therefore, this is a theoretical discussion. No, we don't have any relegation in the ISL so far. So, therefore, from that standpoint, East Bengal Football Club cannot get relegated. So, that is also very, very clear. And I don't think they will finish last on the table. And, of course, has also Roshan been announced as East Bengal coach? Supposedly was supposed to happen last night. Didn't happen. But yeah, East Bengal is another one of those stories where one hopes that they can sort themselves out and change things. Because very, very disturbing to see where East Bengal sort of has ended up in the last few matches, and Carlos Kudarna gone. Pino George took charge for one game, and then let's see if for the derby, the new coach is going to be there, and then how he can change the fortunes around. Fitness has been an issue. Integration of players seems to be also an issue into the team. So these are all issues that East Bengal will have to handle if they want to be more successful in the Indian Super League. Right. Tried to answer all your questions as well as I could. Second, what that sounds good to say. East Bengal, I feel United version of ISL. Not a bad comparison, actually. Yeah, it looks like it, right? You're buying players every year, trying to think you're going to get better. There's a lot of hope and then pressure from the fans. So, yeah. Let's see. Another FSDL was starting the ISL thinking in future there will be relegation or there should not be relegation ISL. At the time, in 2014, relegation was never discussed. So the idea of the ISL at the time was a closed league. What Hansi changes in Barca with the same players, how they started playing that good? Hansi Flick is a head coach with a clear-cut plan. He has experts for different things. They work on a lot of things. I think one of the advantages is that he's worked with certain players. Lewandowski is back to his best, and he was top under Flick at Bayern. Ter Stegen has worked with him in the German national team, so that I think helps as well. And he is willing to risk to give young players chances as well. So that combination at the moment with Barca and Flick seems to be something which is working for both sides. And let's wait and see how far Hansi Flick can take Barca. You know, can they really win La Liga? Can they challenge for something big in the UCL as well? Will be let's see. Now, why Hansi Flick worked so many years as assistant coach before taking the Bayern job? Don't know, Kumar. Honestly, wouldn't be able to answer you that. And Mohun Bagan Super Giant, almost similar case. The hype expectation difference is huge. I think, Sanskar, when you are a club followed by a huge fan base, these kind of things happen. And yeah, Mohun Bagan, Super Giant have in the last few years proven that if you bring in top-notch players, that quality does win you titles in an Indian context. And that will be interesting to see if they can do it this year, or if not, it looks like they turn things around against Mohammedan Sporting. Now the next derby against East Bengal will be also interesting. Next week, Saturday in Kolkata. I'm hoping I will be there. So therefore, that's something that will be interesting to see. And it's those are the big ones, and then we'll see. Mohun Bagan Super Giant again are one of the biggest teams, and one of the biggest spender in this league. So that's another thing. So therefore, let's wait and see what they can do. And yeah, it's an interesting scenario. 1 hour 29 minutes, so nearly 90 minutes of an Indian football discussion. Thanks once again, guys, for joining in. Those of you who haven't, as I always say, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to those of you who've been following for the short, for the middle, for the long term, as always. And also, 25 likes. Thanks a lot. Those of you who haven't, do have a look at the videos, the shorter videos that I produce and make for you all. The last few days, of course, things around the national team, Status of the I League, of course, was discussed, or I discussed what kind of coaches East Bengal looking for, other things as well. Just have a look. Even some of the older ones are interesting as well. So have a look at those videos as well. Onavada, in January transfer window, will India play any friendlies? Kumar, you don't play matches in transfer windows, friendly windows. The friendly windows are in March, June, September, October, November. Transfer windows are not match windows. And KFC Spurs, similar story, start well, but end get choked from other clubs. Okay, interesting, Sanskar. So once again, as always, like, share, and subscribe on Abha Chaudhary here on YouTube, my other social medias as well. I will most probably not be doing any lives over the next 5 days. Most probably my next live will be next week, Monday. If I can, maybe I'll do a late one in one of those evenings when I'm early home. But otherwise, yeah, keep watching. I'll be making short videos on the channel. Spread it, let more people join in, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks and bye.